Hello and welcome to the Zelda 1 Randomizer weekly race. We got a special one tonight because tonight we're doing a co-op race. I'm John Tabin. Joining me on commentary is Magic Friends.
Hello, everyone.
And Elso is helping us out in the background with the tracking. So there are a couple of ways to co-op on Zelda 1 Randomizer. One is to just be on Discord and both play the same seed. And share information. But another way, which only works on emulator, there's no way to do this with a flashcard yet, but the other way is there is a Lewis script created by Magmac Attack that will link to FCEUX emulators, and when one team member gets an item, it will appear in the inventory for both team members. So on the right, Captain Green 7 and Zos 19 are one of our teams, and on the left, Fury SK and CD Improv are another of our teams. There are a bunch of others off stream, and our race is underway.
It's like we're starting in the forest. Nice, good start to spot. There's a lot of places to get to that have open doors around here. And just a door on that armor section. So you see the runners, they're all going to go in different routes because it's more beneficial for you to be in two different locations most of the time than to be in the same location, since you can share most of the stuff you end up getting. Triforces, items. Does it? I don't remember if it shares bomb drops or not, but
I don't think it. I've actually never played it, but I think it's just the major items like heart containers and dungeon items. But
level 1 has a bomb shop. We've got $20 bombs today. And we found our Captain Green's found their warp zones already. First one's plopping us back in the forest. They're just going to move on from there. Oh, no. Okay. I guess they were about to get hit in the back of the head, so they dodged. Okay, so there are 3 warp zones, 3 screens are away from each other. Perfect. And 1 on Death Mountain.
And by perfect, of course, I mean that's terrible, but they're not
unusable.
A warp to Death Mountain's pretty good, but other than that, not going to be able to do much with those.
Fury found level 7. Not really the level you're looking for with no items, but hey, bomb drop and get out of there. Not too bad.
Yeah, I like doing that if you find a level right away, no sword or anything, you just peek around.
All right, so there's our first example. You see that Exo found the wood sword cave just north of the regular one, and Captain Green gets a free wood sword out of that pickup.
And the little Lewis script says partner got wood sword, so Captain Green gets it, and that'll happen. You'll see that in the corner every time someone gets something. And the rules for this race are 1 member of the team has to finish for the team to finish. So we're just gonna kill Ganon twice on stream, most likely.
Level 4 for Fury. So Fury has a bit of an advantage on finding levels. Exo and Captain Green's team have not found any levels just yet.
And someone asked in chat, are they talking to each other? The answer is yes. They're all the teams are in Discord calls with one another. And shout out to Fury for having his sound on 2 channels, so he can be talking to CD and also give us usable game audio for the restream.
Bloomerang is our armor item up in the secret spot. And nice use of that boomerang immediately to keep himself alive. Captain Green's found level 1, though. That's one of the levels we're really looking for with the extra item drop on the floor. Plus, it's usually pretty easy to navigate. But bunnies is not fun. Bunnies not fun in level 1. Although you can kill Pole's Voice with a wood sword, it usually takes between 8 and 12 hits, depending on how they have rolled today.
Yeah.
Looks like they rolled pretty low though. That was only like 7, maybe. Yeah, decent.
And yeah, ooh, we got the bow in level 1. Somehow randomized right back to its home in the basement of level 1. Now we do have Dungeon Heart Shuffle on, which means there could be potentially up to 3 items in level 1.
All right. So Exo and Captain Green now have a bow and a blue candle. Exo finding a take any and grabbing that blue candle. So if Exo, now the interesting thing would be if Exo can find an arrow location and buy arrows to help Captain Green out in this dungeon that has the Pole's Void.
Oh yeah.
Yo, level 9.
Level 9 located.
Yeah, this is really just unlucky for Fury and CD that they haven't gotten to the start area yet. They've done some pretty decent exploration already, but just haven't ended up in the location of the Woodsword Cave to really start making progress. And you can see they're still both exploring different sections of the world just to try and get where they need to go and to grab as much stuff as possible.
Fury finds the magical boomerang under the armos as CD gets the letter, and both of those are added to their inventory. Fury, no doubt, delighted by the armos item.
Well, without the blue sword, that'll be at least let him stay alive on the overworld, stunning the enemies and getting around the map. Ooh, that is a nasty level 8. Captain Green has found level 8, but blue Lionels and blue Wizrobes in the same room with shutter doors. That is not something you want to fight with Wood Sword 3 hearts. Okay, so assuming he doesn't die, it looks like Fury will end up making his way over to that Woodsword Cave. Takes a gamble, only minus 16, but still a loss.
And by the way, we do have a mixed overworld, which is why Captain Green bombed that Heart Rock and didn't find anything there, because that cave only exists in first quest. So caves that are in one quest or the other may or may not be there.
We still haven't seen the coast item. Still haven't seen the White Sword Cave yet, I don't believe.
Well, our tracker says the coast item's the any key. I assume.
Okay.
Correct about that.
I didn't even. I mean, they jump on that screen so fast that.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't notice it either, but apparently also it did.
All right, level 2 for XO.
Yeah, the chat's saying that Captain Green was on the coast and saw that any key.
So. Well, you don't want that to push XO. If you're at level 2, pushing means it's segmented. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so these are Shapes dungeons. They're randomized, but they follow some of the logic of first quest. Ooh, Exo finds the white sword on the floor in level 2, which gives Captain Green the white sword immediately as well, and that'll speed them up a bit. Yeah,
white sword before Fury and CD have been able to find the wood sword even. But that also means that white sword was just sitting on the ground, so if they can find level 2, they might just end up skipping the wood sword completely.
Well, it was it wasn't a standing item. You had to kill the room. But
yeah, I think the room was like bats or something, or it was like geese or something. I think it was a pretty straightforward kill for both these runners. Yeah. All these runners have plenty of game knowledge to be able to kill a room of geese. They probably And there's our other item in 2, the wooden boomerang. And XO doing us a favor and picking it up. What a chap.
Yeah, and Captain Green gets to know his partner got boomerang. Of course, that doesn't actually do anything because they already had the blue boomerang, but can mark their trackers as having both.
I guess
Why
huh?
Why are there even 2 boomerang slots on the tracker? Anyway,
Well, I guess that is one thing when you're picking your teammate, you have to make sure you're both on the same page of, are we boomerang players or are we not boomerang players?
yeah, I mean, when there's a boomerang under the Armos, I mean, unless you already have the sword by the time you get to it, kind of silly to skip. But I know some people don't like having any boomerang in their inventory, and some people have a strong preference for one of them or the other, because some people feel the shorter one's easier to control or the longer one's more versatile. But
you notice most of the runners here don't actually use the start screen to swap their items, so they have select swap turned on where they can select button and rotate through the items. But as a lot of us have found out, like, knowing exactly where your item is can be the difference between like taking damage and not. So if you're trying to swap to, say, the wand and you end up throwing a boomerang,
sure,
that can kill you. And so a lot of runners are just like, nope, get rid of this blue thing. I don't want to touch it. I don't want random sticks getting thrown out of my backpack. All right, so CD is finding out how nasty this level 8 is. XO taking a death on the overworld there from a blue gorilla who is teaching him how to use those blue boomerangs correctly. And CD finding the nastiness of this room here. He's going to bail on that dungeon as well. Might actually try to do some door glitching here, but guess not. Just thought maybe he would go up a screen and come back down to try and open a free bomb door or something. 40 for our large... Ooh.
CD is bailing out. She's had enough of that dungeon for now.
Oh, yeah. 40 for our mid secret. So this is a pretty decent seed for rupees.
Captain Green finds level 1, so they already got the bow out of there. Oh, but I don't think they got the floor items or the Triforce. So
I think the big problem is that the level 1 had a key block, I believe.
Yeah, that can happen.
And it was not in a door that they could Kanana key. Ooh, that is a snaky little level 1.
And CD finds the sword. Fury and CD get their sword at 12 minutes, which is not terrible for most seeds. For co-op, it's kind of a long time to go swordless.
Yeah, you figure that's really 24 minutes of exploration between the two of them. So, all right. So XO's grabbing this arrow. So now Captain Green has the ability to clear out these Pulse voices much faster. And gets a nice little Kanana key door there. Finds the book on the ground. Book today is an atlas. So maybe he does go pick that up with these Shapes dungeons. I think actually that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, you don't want to with Shapes you don't want to take a pass on that. And Captain Green gets the book, and right after that he gets the recorder.
Pretty stacked level 1 there.
Yeah, so XO gets those notices one after another.
So Captain Green going to show us another Kanana key. So basically this is a trick designed by Kananaphone, where if you're
discovered by Kananaphone, but yeah. But
discovered, created, yeah.
The way Khan tells it is that no one else was dumb enough to be pushing on a key door with 0 keys, so he was the one who found it. But yeah, there's a moment when a shutter door or a bomb hole opens, when all of the doors are open in the game's mind, and you can walk through the key door even though it visually is there.
Now that only works if you have 0 keys, because as soon as you would normally touch a key door, it would end up triggering
if you
key.
Yeah, if you have Yeah, if you have a key, even if you can add a key, the door animation won't work. It'll look the same. Like it'll look like you're passing through the key door, but the game will still subtract a key.
4 swings here, and that is our first Triforce off the map. Captain Green grabbing number 1, and Exo also getting a number 1. Fury back here in this level 7. Level 7 seems to be has lots of ways to go to start with, and then there's nothing you can do with any of those directions. There's our level 5. Our first look at level 5. It's a pretty big blocky area. It's actually a pretty big level 5 in general. Ooh, there's the Triforce for 7 lying on the ground. So that's going to be an easy pickup for the runners when they're ready to get it, but Fury going to keep digging, trying to find some more items, and running away from some danger noodles here. So we've got CD and Exo are now in level 5. Fury's still digging around 7. 7 that's an odd place for Fury to start, but maybe there's a strategy here where I could imagine there's a lot of strategies between like which runner you feel like is faster at exploring things.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple things. At a certain point, you have to dig what you found. If you haven't found any small dungeons, you have to look for something. And the other thing is, Fury is a very strong runner, as is Captain Green, which is another dynamic we should talk about. Like Fury and Captain Green are top runners. Exo and CD are not, although they're quite experienced. But you will see if the combat gets really nasty. Exo might say, CG7 should handle this, or CD might say Fury should handle this.
Right.
And, so
we've seen that the combat in 8 is going to be particularly harsh, so maybe that's something where...
Yeah, that's why CD looked at it and she was out of there immediately, because...
Right. I mean, all of these runners can clear the game, but there's a difference between...
right, like
Captain Green is like regularly under an hour, and CD might be at like 105 or 110. It's not bad at all. Just it's a little different. Sorry, I'm dead. That's what the old man said today. Sorry, I'm dead. Yeah, you can see Captain Green not having too much trouble with these rooms that he's dealing with. This is I can tell you from experience, he is making this look very easy. Just fireballs, Lion-O swords, all of them kill you in 2 hits, and he's just like, yeah, I'll leave the room with more hearts than I entered. Everybody found dungeons now, so 2 runners. Exo's leaving 5. Fury's found 4. Try and keep an eye on these 5 and 4, see if we can find some items here. Looks like both CD and Exo have decided that level 5 is just not navigatable right now. Still only on 1 key respectively as well, so that could be part of the issue. Although I think I did see Exo was fighting some noodles in some Lamolas in a river room, so that could be the blockage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ladder's gonna open up the ladder blocks and also open up all the key blocks because the any key's on the coast. and with the Lua co-op script, you could be in a dungeon, tell your partner go grab the any key off the coast, and have a key by the time you need it. So.
Right. Like if your partner is not in a dungeon, we are close enough that if you're like, got the ladder, hit up A right now, go get me the any key so I can finish this.
Oh, are small keys shared too? Dave's saying that in chat, and he's certainly played this a lot more than I have, so I didn't even realize that. That actually adds extra complications because it's not like, because if you are in a dungeon where it's like you have a linear map and a locked door and 2 keys in your inventory, it's not just you who are affected if you decide to burn those keys and see what happens.
Well, looks like our meat block's not going to be too big of a deal today. Seemed it was not necessary. Oh, looks like we can find a staircase in 8. Let's see if this can pay off. And it is transporty.
Of course.
It does get us to this bottom half of the map, though, so that'll give CG a little bit more exploration.
Yeah. Oh, Fury tried to Kananaki that door, but got gridded walking towards it and ended up on the wrong half tile when he was trying to do the trick.
Yeah. All right, so Exo's finding level 4 now, and that is, well, now we can see why Fury's been having so much trouble. There is really only one route to go in almost this entire dungeon.
Yeah.
So Fury and CD back on the overworld, back to exploration. They're going to really want to find these 1 and 2 dungeons, get that sword upgrade, and then also get that bow upgrade to help them with the Pole's Voice combat, because that's, Pole's Voice combat really isn't hard. It's just so time consuming, especially when you start getting into different rooms that get shuffled. Like,
it's not just that it's time consuming. It's very high variance. If someone walks into a room full of Pole's Voice with a wood sword, and someone walks in there with a white sword or a magical sword, and someone walks in there with a bow, they're going to take very different amounts of time getting through that room. So, but sometimes you need to get past Pole's Voice to get the bow. So, what are you going to do?
And also, Pole's Voice, because of their movement style, because of all the jumping they do, and the fact that they are 2 hearts worth of damage, a lot of times you can get in a room like a diagonal room, or maybe the maze rooms, the maze grid rooms, and you can't go near them because they're just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. You're like, I can't get over there to stab you because you keep jumping like a goofball. Ooh, okay. Nice job, Captain. Ooh, well, okay, before I say that, I'll wait for you to actually kill him.
Yeah, the reason he's hugging the middle of the room like that is the fireball statues can't fire when you're close to them. So the reason he wasn't just attacking, going towards Patra, he was waiting for Patra to come to him at the middle, was to minimize the fireballs there. And for his reward is another Patra to do with 1 heart. We do have, in case you hadn't guessed, the extra boss's flag is on in this flag set. So,
all right, so Fury just found level 2 and got that white sword. So that's going to speed up a lot of Fury and CD's combat, kind of catch them back up in this race. They're also finding the map of this level 2, which is only in the top 3 rows. Interesting. And he's going to find that key block that was originally found by Fury, but they do have a key here to spend. That's too bad you don't get the health refill off of a Triforce pickup. That'd be kind of cool to be like, I'm about to die to this, Patrick. Can you please pick that up now?
Yeah.
Okay, Fury got to spend that key, and looks like they're going to get rewarded by getting to the Triforce. We do know the other item in here was the wooden boomerang, but there's the Triforce. I don't know what he's still looking for. They saw White Sword Boomerang. They saw the boomerang in the last room drop. Oh, you know what? I bet you he's digging in here to try and find some key. To like give a key back
they're both on 0 keys.
Yeah, trying to give a key back to CD so that he can...
Yeah, she. CD's a she.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that CD can continue digging through this 8, which is obviously a little bit more difficult. Although it might have locked him out of being able to get back to there.
Ooh, Exo finds the red ring in the basement in level 4. Instantly making Captain Green's job getting through this nasty level 8 a little bit easier. You notice Captain Green's tunic didn't change, but he does now have red ring defense. That's why he's getting in those Wizard's faces all of a sudden.
Yeah, he went from hugging the door to let's go. I'll fight you all day.
Yeah.
And that gets him to the item in 8, which is just a heart container.
So meanwhile finds the Triforce in 4. Silver's and red ring in 4. Apparently level 9 migrated to level 4 by accident.
Yeah, we have silvers. So other than ladder...
Yeah, the ladder's really what's holding them up. And, I mean, there could be an overworld block of a dungeon somewhere, but, so... Ladders would definitely help out because they get the any key.
And we do have the recorder, so a lot of those overworld blocks we're really looking for power bracelets because we've seen warps.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 raft locations could be a possibility. So right now we're at and there is a tiny chance that we do not need the ladder. We haven't seen any Triforces that were ladder blocked, although I suspect that 5 is ladder blocked. Not positive about that, though.
Yeah, it's hard to tell as a viewer where the ladder blocks are, but
Right. So now 2 Triforce pieces on Fury and CD's team. Ooh.
Yeah, there are team names in the IRC. They're all in jokes. The Fury and CD's team is Team Dracados Knows. Dracados is a German runner who used to play Randomizer all the time. Hasn't been around as much lately, but his catchphrase was "Don't die," so that's a reference to that. And Captain Green and Expo are Team Top Rope Shaddy, which is a friendly dig at a rival.
Yeah, I feel like that has a lot to do with the fact that Fury and Shaddy love finishing about 1 second apart. Like, I think I've seen it happen at least 2, if not 3 times, either in Seed of the Week or in weekly runs where their finishing time is within 1 second of each other, and then they just scream into the comment void.
Captain Green and Shaddy also have a number of back and forth in jokes but it's sort of impossible to explain it because
the layers are many.
Yeah.
CD now is in this level 1. That's going to give them, assuming they can navigate this, and the combat wasn't quite too hard, but this is what I was talking about with those Poles voice, like with the traps cutting off half your room, and then the diagonals cutting off the other half. You kind of CD was doing a very smart job of, she was just letting the Poles voice come back to him, but that's time getting consumed. There's that arrow, there's that bow and arrow, so now's kind of a time where maybe you tell Fury, hey, go buy me some arrows real quick.
Yeah. They of course their team doesn't know that the red ring's not too far away, so they might have more other things to spend money on, because if the red ring's buried and the combat's nasty, you want to spend money on blue ring. That's what I'm getting at. But
yes,
and
Fury's already at 160, so like one or two more, even mediums, with the mediums being at 40. If they could find two mediums, they could afford that.
Until you get to level 4 and realize you don't really need to buy anything, because the arrows and the arrows and the ring are there. But until then, the budget issues are a little complicated here, because if you get a question chat, red is better than blue. Yes, in the blue ring halves damage, the red ring quarters it.
Yeah, Fury and EXO or Fury and CD are both in some really nasty combat rooms. One, multiple blue whiz robes. The other one, fireballs and patras. None of this is fun.
Yeah. Meanwhile, EXO just going ham with red ring and white sword on this Gleeok.
I mean, that guy doesn't even do half a heart of damage. Just stabbed.
Yeah, well, if you hit a green head, right? So
yeah, there's the Gleeok has the weird, like, if you
there's a coding
damage.
It's actually a coding error that's been explained to me, but I've forgotten the details. That if you touch a attached Gleeok head, it does less than half a heart of damage. Like, and even the stuff in Gleeok that does a full heart, it does less than half a heart when you have red ring. So.
So Captain Green finishing up 6 here. I should be able to navigate this. Man, these dungeons today are very, very what's the word for it? Stringy, I guess is a good way to put it. Like
linear.
Linear, yeah, that's the real word I wanted, but stringy sounds much more annoying. Yeah, the linear dungeons, you just eat keys so much. I mean, 4 keys feels like a lot, but when you see three key blocks in a row and your teammate's using them.
But it's not a normal 4 keys, because if you use a key, your teammate loses a key too. So
right.
So the ladder really is going to change the game in terms of keys.
Yeah, like CD and Fury may look a little bit behind right now because they have the combat disadvantage of not having the red ring. But if they find the ladder faster, these dungeons are going to go so much smoother.
Yeah.
Wando
finds the wand on the floor in 6. And he found a heart container in the basement, so he's done with 6. Because he passed the Triforce earlier, so he's going to just go back and grab that. So we've seen a lot of the seed. We have not seen level 3, have we?
No. So level 3 is likely either under a recorder spot, and the runners just haven't gotten to with that recorder spot, or it's going to be trapped under, say, a raft or a bracelet.
Yeah. And this is Mixed Quest Overworld, so all of those second quest recorder and power bracelet spots might be there.
I'm gonna see Captain Green go and check a couple of these more obscure recorder spots now, like level 2's Lake.
Or, well, level 3 in second quest is...
Right.
Although second quest level 3 gives you the Triforce piece in the level 2 slot, which can be confusing to sort out.
It's... the number of times I've screwed up whistling when it's on second quest whistles.
Yeah. Well,
like, why did I not just walk this? All right, CD finally cleared out that blue Wizrobe room. Triforce number 1 for Fury and CD. And at the same time, Triforce number 4 for Fury and CD. Fury just face planted through this Gleeok. Although they are going back in, so I don't think they found either of the items in this dungeon.
oh yeah. No, they don't have this.
I can't tell off the Trogdor sprite, but I don't think CD's sprite. I don't think her sprite changed at all. She started on like the bluish link. Although, oh, they did find the silvers though, because CD is on silvers now.
Yeah, I guess we were wrong. We thought the silvers were in 4, but I guess they were in 8. With both of them in... Or the tracker was... At some point the tracker said 4 and it changed to 8. Maybe the tracker's just messing with me.
I'm not going to blame Elsoa. They can screw with us all they want.
So meanwhile, Exo found the raft. Neither he nor Captain Green are particularly near a raft spot, but that's might matter because we still have an outstanding level.
It's 34 for Pepsi, 50 for Coke. So nice Coke day today. I'm seeing Coke being corresponding with the colors of the blue and red potion.
Yeah.
There was our red ring for Fury. Alright, so at this point, it's starting to look a lot like either 7 has the ladder, but we dug a lot of 7. It's probably the ladder's hiding behind a recorder spot, and it's got the ladder somewhere. Or did I say 7? I meant 3. The 3 is hiding with the ladder.
Yeah, either recorder or raft. Or because those are the overall block items we've seen. Or the power bracelet is somewhere they've missed too. But
I still don't think.
So Captain Green's starting to check the raft spots.
I still don't think we've seen the up there.
Level 3's raft block. Yep.
So Captain Green finds level 3. So this now is a matter. I would assume that pause that he had before he went into level 3 was to tell Exo, "Hey, I've got the last dungeon. Go get Triforces. Like, just go and find them, and let's go. We've got our silvers."
Raft was on the floor in a dungeon, which is not how the tracker is currently marked, but I'm sure it'll be fixed. I actually don't remember what dungeon it was though.
A bomb upgrade. Ooh, does that trade too? Oh, it does move over. Nice.
7, chat is telling us was where the raft was.
Lauren 7 for chat for that. Okay.
Which is an annoying place for a key item. It's a floor item in a big dungeon, but you absolutely need to get it in the seed. Actually, the book and wand, most players prefer not to because the flame does less damage than the wand spell, and the flame can damage Link. So it just makes it more awkward. That's why, like in this flag set, the book is also an atlas that gives you the map to every dungeon. The reason there are flags like that is because otherwise people would always skip the book, and it gives you more advantage to the book to have it do other stuff.
Yeah, so it looks like Exo is just on this run of go back, get these Triforces out of the easy dungeons, while Captain Green is digging up what's left in level 3.
Mm-hmm.
CD and Fury buying some keys. Unfortunately for us, these Viras do die to one arrow. This is another thing that having the wand is not fun with. There's a trick where if you use the wand and the sword at the same time by pushing both buttons in the correct order, yes,
the damage will stack. Yeah, so the reason Captain Green was burning himself in that Patra fight was he was pressing A and B at the same time to get 4 HP hits on that Patra.
Yeah. Exo grabbing second Triforce in. Ow, that is dangerously bright screen. I mean, at this point, 6 keys between the two of them. And they know where 6 is. Or they know where 9 is. So, where are we going for that? Oh no. Is level 3? Oh no, level 3 is not blocked. They can go north here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, given how much we've seen, I'm starting to wonder. Important items in 9 is on, so the ladder could be in 9 if it doesn't block on Triforce somewhere. But I don't know if. I mean, everyone skipped 5, looked at 5, and left without the Triforce. I don't know if that was because it was blocked or for other reasons.
Well, this is going to be our tell. Is this the ladder?
Oh,
it is.
Chat's saying there was a ladder block Triforce in 8, so the ladder's outside is right there. Yes, in level 3.
Ladder in 3, so now we should see.
Yeah, so you had to get the raft off the floor in 7 to progress. Yeah, it's not a straightforward item progression at all.
That does put Captain Green and Exo into go mode. With that third Triforce, they have 2 left to go.
And Exo jumping right into 5 because he can, now that he has the ladder, we can get to everywhere. I imagine Captain Green's going to head back to 8 now.
Yeah, that also makes a little bit of sense because, as we were saying before, Captain Green has a little bit better combat. So Exo going to grab the slightly easier Triforce, and then they'll just probably both dive into 9 and try to take different routes. So that should be the Triforce for Exo. Cool. Thanks, Keys. There you go.
I'm surprised Captain Green didn't swing by the coast to grab the any key, because I guess it depends on what their approach to 9 is. I mean, not too worried about going into 9 with 5 keys, but with 2 different people going 2 different directions, they might run out faster.
It may also be that, like, if he's going to have to go through all this combat in 9 to get to that Triforce, which is
someone
very
else
far away,
yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, here goes Exo going to get it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably what they probably said. You know, I'm going to go to 8. You go grab the any key after you're done with 5, which is what he was doing. So
yeah, and so we got about 4 rooms left before we get to dive into 9 here, and it looks like Exo's going to get to 9 almost exactly at the time he needs to go to just be diving right in. And we get a Mags pickup at 12. So that's there you go. That's great coordination between the two of them. Picking up Mags, picking up the any key, being ready to jump right into 8 or right into 9.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we saw the red candle in 8 as well.
Oh, nice. We've got everything but the power bracelet figured out.
So the power bracelet's in 9. Probably.
All right, that's our first dig into 9. Let's see how. Ooh, that is a big block in the bottom left corner. Every spot in the bottom, in the southwest corner, is full.
Yeah. Yeah, chat pointing out bailing on 7 was not the right move. It's really hard to know which of these giant dungeons to sink time into, and CD and Fury are not going to make any progress until one of them gets. Well, they'll get the Triforce out of 6, but until one of them gets that raft out of 7, they're not going to get any of the other Triforces, because it's a raft into ladder item progression.
Yeah, and it's the difficult part is that if you skip 7 and you didn't need to do 7, you have saved most likely the most time out of any dungeon.
Sure, yeah.
But if you need 7, not only did you skip it, but now you have to go re-explore it afterwards. Now, usually if you go re-explore it, like, you're going to have better equipment when you go back, so it should be theoretically faster at that point, but your time may already be gone. So Exo's checking this top area, this upper right quadrant. And Captain Green's going through more of the combat that's in the lower left, in the southwest. My directions are terrible, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge 9. I mean, it's spread out because but I've seen 9s with more rooms for sure, and and with both of them in there exploring it with any key and plenty of bombs, it shouldn't take them too long to finish off the seed.
And couple that with the fact that right now they're just listening for Ganon. They don't need to worry about whether they can find silvers or anything. So every time they go into a new room, they're potentially checking 3 or 4 squares around them.
Yeah, and they're listening for Ganon and they're looking for the Zelda shutter. And here's Ganon.
They're getting Captain Green getting a little unlucky with these. Go. Ganon did not want to go to the right. It did not matter. Quite a clean fight there.
Yeah, so the rules of the race are the team wins when one of them finds Zelda. So they just have to go in different directions and keep looking. And by the way, no one has finished off stream, so there's a good chance they're going to be overall winners of the race tonight.
Looks like both of them are going to need to find a way into that bottom right quadrant, because Exo's seen a lot of this top right, and both of them have seen most of the bottom right. Or Exo's seen a bunch of top right. Both of them seen a bunch of the bottom left. So
CD finding the heart container in 6. And I think she already has the wand, so they've... Or if I'm wrong, she'll get it very shortly because it wasn't far away. And
I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah, there it is.
There's the wand.
Yeah. But yeah, so CD's gonna go back to 6, and question is, whose job is it going to be to go to 7? Because that's
Oh, well, that's an interesting little meat block.
Oh, is there a meat?
There was a meat block right there, but it didn't lead to anything.
Don't see required meat blocks that often with shapes dungeons. But it has happened. Alright, so CD gets the level 6 Triforce. That's that is unfortunately the last non-item block Triforce Jerry and CD had to find.
Right.
So until they get the raft off 7, they're going to be stuck. Out of 7, they're going to be stuck.
Oh, there we are. That is the door to Zelda right there. Captain Green and Chaos finishing with a time of 50 minutes and 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah, get your GGs in chat for Captain Green 7 and Zos 19. Zos XO. We call him XO. It's easier than whatever his name is. Yeah.
Abbreviations are much easier. We have CG, XO, CD, and SK. There we go. Well run, too. Like, the coordination between the two of them was very well done. I don't think there was ever a time they were both in the same, almost even the same quadrant of the map. So. And
Team Fry Smash, which is Fry Teeth and Homer J Smash, have come in second place off stream with 51-25. Pretty close race, but a pretty convincing win by Captain Green and XO.
So finishing out the run, so we get both princesses have been rescued. We'll see if we can get them in here in chat. Fury has gone back into 8, so Fury is trying to get this last. I think this last item that they haven't found in 8, which is the red candle. Not going to be excited about finding that, but
yeah, that will be a huge disappointment for them. And we're joined now by Captain Green and Zos 19. GG, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The coordination there. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Your guys' coordination was really nice in that seed. How did you feel about, like, how was your communication in there?
Well, I mean, we've played several times, more than several, together. So it's a lot of, I would say, inherent trust and knowledge that your partner's off doing what you expect them to do. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't even require that much communication because I know what he's going to clear in the overworld. He knows what I will. And beyond that, not much else to say.
Yeah, we could see that when you found that ladder, and it was very clear that like one of you was going to 3. One of you knew, okay, I'm the guy going to 3, and then getting mags, and then getting the ending key, and the other one's going to 8 because it's a longer dungeon, but they're closer to it. Like, it was so clear that you guys almost did it instinctively, and that makes sense that you've done this a bunch of times.
Yeah.
A big part of it is.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say a big part of it is just splitting up responsibilities, like trying not to overlap anything we're doing. Like, we don't want 2 of us in the same level at the same time, except for 9, of course. And just trying to make sure someone's always doing something productive.
Yeah, XO, you are a big fan of both types of co-op, both just communicated and this linked emulator Lua co-op. Do you prefer the Lua?
I like the Lua because to me it's a lot of fun. I do feel that it lacks some of the difficulty you would have if you weren't sharing. Because then
everyone has to do everything. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Then you have to track dungeons and tell your partner where to go. But the Lua is a lot of fun. Typically, you're going to be sub-houring seeds with this Lua script.
We have 3 teams have finished now. Team Sweden, which is Tom J and King Dahl, finished at 52-37. You say typically you saw Hour of the Seed. This item progression did its best to slow you down, though. You needed a raft off the floor in 7 to get to the ladder, which opened more, at least 2 more Triforces. At what point? And by the way, CD and Fury have still not gotten that raft.
Oh,
so,
no. Yeah, it was behind a bomb wall in 7. On the other side of the transport staircase. So,
yeah, unfortunately, they have the levels of a Triforce, but they did not full clear it, and they're just kind of spinning their wheels now, checking everything else they have left. Because
if we weren't still looking for ladder and missing level 3 at that point, I may have noped out. But I think I only had 3 or 4 rooms left, so I went back in.
That level 8 was brutal and took a lot of fancy combats only to be disappointed with hearts and ladder block at the end.
Oh yeah, it's just a lot of nothing.
When you see runners of all your caliber come into an 8, and then just see the first room and go, yeah, we're done with this.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the room Fury's in right now. He's got Lionels and Wizrobes and Bubbles, and he has Red Ring and White Sword, so he can handle it. But it still takes a while to clear these rooms. So
yeah, that's also why I left 1 early, because I knew I had bows. It's like, okay, once one of us buys arrows, I'll come back and clear it up way faster.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did you end up buying arrows, or did you end up just... It felt like you bought arrows and found silvers in the same motion.
It was...
You had arrows, and then you had silvers, like, automatically afterwards.
It was pretty close. Because, the arrows, I think, were on the floor in 4. But I definitely bought them. I forgot where they were. Thankfully, my partner there, CG7, remembered where I told him they were.
All right, CD's back in 7, so Fury and CD will get the raft eventually if she can make her way to it. Well, Fury's still dealing with all this garbage in 8.
Yeah, he's still missing that red candle in 8, so that's why he's still in here.
Yeah. So, did anybody see White Sword item?
White Sword item? I don't think we did see.
I don't think we ever opened the White Sword cave at all.
It's either a heart container or the power bracelet.
Yeah. Yeah, that room CD's in is, it shows you a ladder block below the transport. But you can get to everything by taking the transport and bombing south. That's what they're missing.
There we go. Yeah, this is where they need to head through. I think you said bombing south. Oh, in this room. Ooh.
Yeah, where the diamond staircase with the
blue lamppost.
Blue lamppost. Yep.
So Fury is out of 8. Looks like CD's still going to go north from this diamond staircase, trying to navigate their way over into that lizard tail. Almost looks like an iguana there.
Yeah, but 7 wasn't fun. The heart container was so far away, and there was that vertical shoot room. Kind of blocked your progression.
Yeah.
As well, so...
Yeah, CD and Fury also had trouble finding. They just never really moved towards the start of the map, so they also got. I think they were about 12 minutes. You said, John,
Yeah,
for the
sword, yeah.
for the wood sword.
Oh no.
Yeah, and the two of you had it in minutes.
Yeah,
Like probably
Fury
3
went
minutes.
Fury went west and CD went east, and the sword was in the middle. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was just stumbled upon it on my way over to the Dead Woods. I was just glad there wasn't something crucial in 5, because we ran into some, key blocks early on as well in level 2 and level 5, and it was just a hard container.
Something we were talking about, the way keys are shared, does it how do you coordinate that? Because you use a key and your partner loses a key. You have to
Yeah, so I mean, I would say typically if we've got like 4 plus keys, it's kind of like a go ahead and use it.
Mm-hmm.
But like in this particular seed, I threw out the question twice in 5. Because we only had I think 1 or 2 at the time, and I used one key, which only led me to another room with 2 key doors. And at that point, we still were missing a lot of dungeons. We hadn't found 4 or 7. So yeah, we saw the ladder block in there too. So I was like, the chances that there's an item behind this key is slim. I mean, it could have been the ladder, which would have been terrible, but it ended up just being a heart container.
So both CD and Fury are now in the 7 looking for this final.
Yeah. The other mean thing about this 7 is there are these moat rooms, and you see a moat room and all you're missing is the floor item. You think, well, it might be a ladder block floor item. Well, if the floor item is the raft, which leads to the ladder, then that gamble is going to completely ruin your run.
Yeah. At least Fury's turning around though, because they were both heading in the same direction.
Oh yeah, they've run out of other places to be. So
no, I know. I thought I thought Fury was going to check closer to the start of the dungeon, because, like CG7 was saying, if you're both checking the same rooms, you're losing time.
Yeah,
and they haven't been. They've just run out of places where.
Yeah, they're both within squares of each other right now. Is the thing? Like, I guess.
Right, but the raft's not down there, unfortunately.
No, it's in the tiny little corner. There's like one square, and you have to bomb the new room with the blue noodles, and that's it. There's only one spot. There's only one way to get to it. It's a bomb location in a nasty room.
That's right. It's the first room along the bottom on the second E column, I believe.
This looks like it's Fury looking at the map and trying to figure out, how do I get to our room that I haven't been in yet? Because it has to be here. And I think they're just now recognizing which room it has to be. So let's see if they hit that bomb hole right to the south of when he comes out of here. There it is. There's not even a thing to fight in this room. Roll.
So where do you think these guys will go then?
Well, they know that this has to be a block. They've seen every other item up to this point, so they know it's not a push block location. This has to be the unlocking thing.
Yeah, I imagine one of them's going to go to one raft spot and one will go to the other. Or maybe they'll both go east.
Well, at this point, maybe it does make sense for them to be going in the same spot, because they really just... I mean, once they find 3, then it makes sense for them to both be in 3. Because if one person finds the raft, the other one can just grab... Like, you might as well have 2 people looking for the one thing that gives you progression. There's nothing else to do. Like what is like if Fury's in here, what is CD doing? Just standing on the overworld? Like so at this point you're both just going in different directions. But this is where it requires so much coordination to say, okay, I'm gonna go this way. And it looks like actually they just talked about it and decided that to like change the game plan.
Yeah, I'm curious what Fury's gonna do here. He might Oh, he might just go back into 5 and start clearing and hope she'll find the ladder by the time he's at the block. Yeah, that's got to be what their plan is.
Do we know how deep the ladder was?
Oh, he may be checking the other raft spot because they still haven't seen White Sword item, so.
True. That was once he saw that was an up A. Now I mean the best thing that could happen is that CD gets this before Fury walks in here, because then Fury can start doing all the overworld stuff and taking out all the little the fast things that can be done from there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we have another finisher. Joe's homemade habanero sauce, which is Imasak and Bogey, have finished at 105.59 in 4th place.
Fortunately, the ladder is the room to the left of the Triforce there, so it's going to be the absolute last room she gets to, just because that's the way you have to explore the level.
Yeah. It's not like with Heart Shovel, you can skip any rooms, really.
Right. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take off now.
All right,
thanks,
GG.
John and Magic Friends for the commentary, and also for the tracking.
Well raised, friends, and good job.
All right,
Thank
thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
So this is also going to be a spot where, if at all possible, Fury and CD have to be very careful, because if they're sharing keys, well, the doors don't open. The doors do not open.
I think they stay open as long as you're not in the same room as the other person at the same time. Like in other words, I think if Fury opens a door and CD's 2 rooms behind him, she'll find an open door when she gets there.
Oh, okay. I was very worried about like just getting key locked. Oh, right, because you have to go around those noodles, and then kill everything in this room. But this is smart. CD said, "Hey, I've got a bunch of hit points. Let me take out this stupid Patra. Make sure it's not the floor item. You keep going and dig a little bit deeper. Fury is going to find it in this room. This is not. Even with 1 heart, the red ring should make this room a pretty straightforward clear."
It has been found.
All right, we have CD and Fury are now in go mode.
Yeah. I imagine that that CD heads to 5 and Fury heads to 8 for the cleanup.
Well, Fury's going to have to actually. Oh, well done. They sent both of them into this blue Lambo room to make sure one of them got the kill, and Fury was able to get one and duck out before. And CD's actually. Oh, I was going to say CD's going to get like a 4-screen head start based on this refill, but then popped off of the raft's location.
Yeah, people were asking in chat during why Captain Green didn't go grab the NEQ right after 3. I didn't notice, but that raft screen's so obnoxious that it might just be so hard to get. If something hits you back onto the raft, you can get forced to take another raft ride, and that's if the screen's obnoxious enough. Sometimes it might be better to just up A and walk back.
Yeah, you only have 1 screen to get off of there, and the enemies are already moving and firing their weapons. So sometimes you don't get priority to even attempt to dodge before you are hit, and then and the other drawback is if you get hit while standing on the raft spot, you get knocked back far enough that walking forward will just trigger the raft and push you backwards. So it's like, okay, I move, a boomerang hits me in the face before I even get the chance to respond, and then I'm stuck going backwards again. And you can. That's not fun. Whew. I mean, Red Ray is fine, but it is. You still can die to Red Wizrobes even with that ring. So, alright, so CD grabbed that key for them. Fury sees the red candle finally. Cries a little tear inside. We've got our 8 finished. And I would imagine that almost immediately Fury is going to head towards 9, which I believe he is doing so right now, as 9 is over in the Deadwoods.
Yeah. Hopefully, CD will have this Triforce out of 5 right now, and so by the time he gets to 9, he is ready to enter. And I imagine she'll join him there right after that, so they can search in different directions, just like Captain Green and Exo did.
Yeah, at this point, we're really not. There's no resource that CD could go grab, so she's only got one priority, and that's get in there and start digging as much as possible.
So when saying Trogdor really likes roaring, that's an interesting glitch. It's in the game, but it never comes up in the vanilla game because you never pick up a Triforce in a room that has a living boss in it. But that boss roar will follow you out to the overworld like that.
That boss roar also is important to keep in mind when you're traveling through 9, because normally there's no bosses in 9 to scream at you, but I believe 2 of the bosses will have a sound that's exactly the same as Ganon, and 2 of them have a sound that's very close to the sound of Ganon.
The Patchers will scream at you, although,
right, which is why normally
but not from the next room, like Ganon does, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I do wonder if the both first and second quests have a Patcher in the room immediately before Ganon. I wonder if that's intentionally there to mask the roar, which is obviously a huge issue in Randomizer. If you have a boss you think is Ganon next door, or am I just hearing the boss roar? And there's a little bit of an audio glitch that some people can pick up on when they're in a boss room that also is next to Ganon, but it's not easy to spot.
It's I'm thinking of this. Yeah, there's the roar. That's a very quick find by Fury there. Ooh, almost. Oh, right. They didn't go get the They haven't seen the magical sword. I was wondering why that took so long. But they did not see Mags to go get it. So they're still running on White Sword. But that is the Triforce. We know that one of these 2 runners needs to get to the...
Well, they must have seen it because they got to the point of both searching the same dungeon, but they didn't loop back to it the way Captain Green and Exo did. They didn't have as much time in the cleanup phase as Captain Green and Exo did either, so... Because you'll recall, like, Exo was doing a smaller dungeon than Captain Green was, so he had some time to do some overworld errands before they jumped into 9.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I want to say Goma and Dig Dogger both have an audio cue that make it... You can identify it, but it's really one of those things where, like, you don't know it until you just know it by instinct.
So we got the pig down. I don't recall where Zelda was.
I believe she's in the bottom right quadrant. Because they found her just after... so there's a meat block just south of where Fury is. And then about 4 rooms after that is... And I was like, oh, a meat block, and then it didn't matter. And then it was about 4 or 5 rooms after that that they found it. So I think it's in that bottom right area... Maybe like row 2, like the second bomb row from the bottom. Because this is the way CD is going right now. Was the way that
Chat's saying bottom. So Chat's saying bottom left, 3rd row.
Oh,
Although there's some. Yeah.
Bottom left, 3rd row.
Yeah.
So that would be just after start, because I think they came in on the E column.
So you're starting to dig staircases now.
That is a thing I always forget to ask, but I always want to know like whether runners are staircase people or not staircase people.
And off-screen, Team Unsalty Runback, Truant Gamer, and Malchior have finished. And Malchior actually had his computer blue screened in the middle of the run, and Truant had to finish it off solo. So kudos to them.
He's going to have most of this northeast corner cleared out right about now. CD is trying to make as much progress as they can through bomb holds to get back towards this, what Chad is saying is the correct area. Huh? Oh, okay. There we go. Gotta push that one. Oh, found the power bracelet. So White Sword was a heart container today. Get a power bracelet out of 9.
I wonder if the white sword item is power bracelet blocked since no one saw it.
Yeah,
it almost has to be because they didn't give up on checking recorder spots before they dug out that raft. Yeah.
And we've seen both raft locations too, so
yeah,
that's
yeah,
about it. Princess Hide and Seek did a pretty good job today. But looks like Fury has just now found it. And
get your GGs in chat for Fury SK and CD Improv. Finishing in 6th place out of 8 teams with 118.30.
Yeah, that's good job persevering by Fury and CD, especially with the kind of combat that they were running into early on.
And speaking of which, here are Fury, SK, and CD and Prop. GG's.
GG. That was the thing.
Yeah, I mean, at what point did you realize what you were dealing with here? Because, okay, go ahead. You obviously have stuff to say.
Well, I knew we had missed something when because I run Chatty in the background. I knew we had missed something when Chatty told me that a couple of people I watched had already switched to other games.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, all right, because I generally leave IRC minimized.
Right, yeah, but Chatty is a third-party Twitch chat program, and it'll tell you when people you follow have changed their title or game. So
yeah, exactly. I'm like, all
so
right,
if you see
we missed something, but Fury was awesome and got me a red ring, so that helped. Because I was ready to throw stuff at the bunnies.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah, GG Fury.
Yep, I guess we basically just full ran the seed. I think we saw most every room of 7 and 8 and 9 and
yeah,
we're stuck looking in level 2 past both items in the Triforce for extra keys because we had none.
Yep.
All sorts of fun, that one.
Yeah, I loved having to farm keys, and then I went to the wrong cave for the cheap key. I'm like, Fury, this one's like 90 something. We can't afford that one.
Oh, you had a tracking issue with buying keys, yeah?
Yeah.
There was one point where we were like, wait, they have all the items out of this dungeon. Oh, they have 0 keys. She's got 0 keys. Yeah.
I needed things to kill, so I was using one to respawn whatever in the heck was anywhere near me that wouldn't end up murdering me in the meantime. I'm exceptionally bad at this game.
But it's funny when you see the any key on the coast, you're like, okay, ladder's gonna open all the doors, and then the ladder is behind a raft
and it was
block
necessary.
The raft is deep in 7 on the floor.
Yeah. It was fun though. I mean, I'm really enjoying the Lua co-op because they're doing a seed of the week now with the Lua co-op. So I'm having fun just asking everybody, hey guys, do you want to be my partner this week? Like I've got to play with Shaddy. Last week I got to play with CG7. Next week I'm playing with Elsoa, who's doing our tracking tonight. Hi Elsoa. Sorry, Elsoa. And then the week after I'm playing with Truant, and I played with Fury. So it's
so
really
join the Zelda 1 Randomizer Discord if you're interested in this. If you play yourself, co-op, or otherwise, if you're interested in joining our community.
Yeah, it's a pretty welcoming bunch of guys. So they answer all my incredibly, incredibly silly questions, like, "Hey, does this room drop?"
Yeah, I mean, this is a complicated game. There's a lot to learn, and sharing knowledge is how we get better at it. So it's fun to run it as a community. Like it wouldn't be nearly as interesting to just have this game and not know anyone else who runs it. So please, by all means, reach out.
How was your communication through that? Because there was a lot of
Well, I should mention I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning.
Oof.
Yeah, life of a pastry chef. You wake up really early. But we were kind of okay, except for I had to, if I got distracted by, dying a few too many times, I had to ask Fury to repeat what he had said, and probably slowed us down just a little bit.
Yeah, the other issue I think was with Sword. I think it was right at the intersection to where one of us thought, or both of us thought the other had gotten it. That cave checked off. So
yeah,
last locationing that Sword.
I'm pretty sure I died right before I got there, quite possibly. Because again, I am fantastic at this game.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was about the difference between other than last locationing the raft. There was about the difference between you and the other team was they got their sword at about 3 minutes. You were at just over 12 minutes to get that sword. So they actually had found the white sword out of 2 before you had found the regular sword. But that's just shows how important it is to be marking off everything and communicating back and forth. But then what Captain Green and XO were saying was that because they're comfortable with each other running, they didn't have to communicate quite as much. They didn't have to say, I've checked this cave, I've checked that cave, because they kind of knew where each other was going to go.
Yeah, XO and Captain Green actually played co-op together quite a lot. They were in the Battle Royale as partners. So they did really cool. You know,
they have it down to a
well.
science. Yeah.
Yeah, they really do. They're a good team. I mean, I was playing with Captain Green last week, and he's actually one of the reasons that I learned as much about the game. When I was starting, like Captain Green, Fury, the Discord, everybody was really John. I asked John a couple of questions a couple of different times. Everybody is just they're more than willing to answer even some of the dumbest questions out there. Just to kind of help people along. So it's a great community. And then, of course, there's Fred. And who doesn't love Fred? I mean, unless, of course, the bow is Wizrobe blocked or something like that.
There are no dumb questions, but there are quite a few questionable dummies you can befriend if you join the Zelda 1 Randomizer community, so please do. Thanks to... any last thoughts before we sign off here? Anyone?
No, just thanks to you guys. And thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting and Oasis for letting us try this out. It was definitely fun. So we maybe get to do this again in the future.
Yeah,
thanks to you guys for tracking and comms and all that.
Yeah, thanks to Elsoa for the tracking. Thanks to Magic Friends for joining me on commentary. And thanks to Speed Gaming and Oasis as always for managing this event for Speed Gaming. This in particular, because everyone has to have linked emulators and make the technology work. It was probably a little more complicated than usual, so it was nice to see everyone step up, and it went pretty smoothly. We only had one person, at least, so I mean, it's a couple of teams are still going, but only one person said, my computer crashed.
No!
Hey, we got started at 10:05. That's pretty good for a weekly race with the co-op on.
Yeah, we did pretty good. Not horrible.
And if you enjoyed what you saw today, friends, we're here every week, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Zelda 1 Randomizer. And if you keep your eye out on the Speed Gaming Networks, there are a couple of Battle Royales, which are our weekly runs. They kind of use like a Mario Kart scoring, and then usually we're broadcasting the finals. A couple of those are going on right now, so over the summer you will see some Battle Royales finishing up with their final seeds as well, so just keep an eye out on the Speed Gaming Networks for more Zelda 1 Randomizer action.
Yeah. The Battle Royales are sometimes on Randomania.
Or Randomania, yes.
Yeah, so check over there too. But I think that'll do it for tonight. I'm John Taven. Good night, everyone.
Have a good night. I'm Magic Friends, and we'll see you all later.